Here in South Texas, they await the arrival of Alex, which will likely become a hurricane very shortly. We talked to the mayor of South Padre Island. We'll get his feedback next here on Day Planner.
And of course, Alex is hundreds of miles away from the massive oil spill, but the Gulf Coast is still feeling the effects. Details coming up. The Day Planner starts right now. And thank you so much for joining us here on this extended edition of Day Planner. I'm Heather Tesch.
And I'm Larosa, in for Carl Parker. We continue to track Tropical Storm Alex as it continues to move off toward the north.
That's right. And right now it is packing those top sustained winds of 70 miles per hour. It is moving to the northwest at 12 miles per hour. And we are expecting that this will gain in strength and become a hurricane before it makes landfall.
It's certainly looking the part anyway. Here's the bottom line on Alex. Hurricane and tropical storm warnings are in effect for parts of the Texas coast. Alex is forecast to become a hurricane. The fringe effects are hitting the oil spill, but the strongest part of Alex will miss that area. The storm is expected to make landfall in northern Mexico or extreme South Texas Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in South Padre Island, Texas, where preparations are already underway. Mike, things are looking sort of sunny right now by you.
They are this morning, Maria and Heather, and behind me we've got vacationers still in town. There they are, getting out there in the surf with their boogie boards. A lot of seaweed has been brought in by the surf and the higher than average tides, but they'll be out here I think most of the day. We will have some passing rain showers. We had about a 4-minute shower just moments ago. Now we spoke on the phone to the mayor, Bob Pinkerton, here in South Padre, and based on the current forecast intensity coming in as a strong one and also the track going into northern Mexico right now, he's not expecting a mandatory evacuation here for South Padre. By the way, just under 3,000 people live here full time, and but as you well know, with the 4th of July weekend coming up, there's going to be thousands, and they are sold out. And I can tell you, this thing will be long gone, and they'll be back in business, and not late Thursday, certainly by Friday, based on what we're forecasting right now. Last time they had a hurricane, let me take you back to July 23rd, 2008. It was Dolly coming in as a Cat 1, and the impact's probably much the same with this one. We had a surge of 3 to 4 feet at South Padre Island. The rainfall was the big deal, 5 to 10 inches across the lower Rio Grande Valley. Harlingen Inland had 15 inches of rain, and that is going to be an issue certainly in the metro areas down here along the Rio Grande. Urban flooding, some flash flooding when you get that kind of rainfall. Meanwhile, preparations underway inland in Brownsville across the water, across the causeway. Some people in mobile homes already packing up and heading to higher ground and trying to get out of the way of the winds, because we'll likely have wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour, and that's that's getting into the threshold for risky living in a mobile home. Big weekend coming up, ladies. Things should be fine by then. We will take the brunt of the storm later tomorrow into tomorrow night, expecting that landfall tomorrow night. And then once it moves away, hopefully fast enough, because if it lingers around, as we saw with Allison in Houston several years back, we had up to 20, 30, 35 inches of rainfall. Heather, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike. And of course, I think that is the biggest concern, is that the rainfall that's going to come in once the system moves inland and potentially just sits over areas or very slowly moves, and it could dump a lot of very heavy rain. And here it is. I mean, this system is massive. Alex really covering a wide portion of the Gulf with some of those outer bands of moisture that are coming in. Again, it is moving at about 12 miles per hour with those top sustained winds at 70. Here's the oil area, and we're going to talk more coming up about some of the effects that Alex will have on this area. Already, though, you see we've got a lot of moisture in here, and that's popping up a lot of storms, especially when you get that daytime heating. That can really help these storms to fire up. So we'll see a lot more of that today. Maria's going to talk more about that. But again, here's the path of that storm. Keep in mind, even if this tropical storm, or potentially hurricane at the time, moves into Mexico, we actually could see on the Texas side of it some of the worst conditions. Often it is that right side where you get the strongest winds, so potentially that could be pretty rough going. As we look toward the hurricane season and through it, you can always get more information here, both on the Weather Channel and at